Now, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video, and please welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. On 24th of February 2023, which was actually last week on Friday, the US First Lady Jill Biden landed here in Kenya for a 3-day state visit. And of course, she was received very well at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport by the First Lady of Kenya, Rachel Ruto, together with the US Ambassador, Meg Whitman. But yesterday, during her speech at Kibera, where she had visited together with Rachel Ruto just to have a look at on how the table banking operates, because it's one of her main missions here in Kenya, Jill Biden went ahead to issue a strict warning to Raila Odinga, opposing his recent anti-Ruto demonstration that he has been carrying out across the country, explaining the importance of a peaceful country, and instead all Kenyans leaders must focus on solving the problems and the challenges that majority of Kenyans are currently facing, and to stop the blame games. So in this video today, basically we are going to talk about Jill Biden's message or warning to Raila Odinga. In my critical analysis also, we are going to look at Jill Biden's failure to meet with Raila Odinga at State House as a follow-up of the US African Summit, an event which was carried out last year at Washington, D.C. We are also going to look at Jill Biden fulfilling her promises that she made to both Rachel Ruto and President William Samoei Ruto. And finally, we'll have a look at Jill Biden's real mission during her state visit here in Kenya. But of course, before we go into deeper details of this video, just in case you are here for the first time, or maybe you are currently watching this and you haven't subscribed, I'm just requesting you to kindly support me by subscribing, and also please don't forget to press the notification bell so that every time I upload a video here, YouTube will automatically update you through the notification. And to my returning subscribers, to my loyal viewers, and to my supporters who are currently watching this, I also want to take this opportunity to appreciate you so much for your continued support. So feel very much welcome on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't take that support for granted. Now let us go straight into our critical analysis, and let's begin with Jill Biden's strict warning to Raila Odinga, or warning message to Raila Odinga. Let me just read for you what Jill Biden talked about during her speech in Kibera yesterday concerning Raila Odinga's demonstration. Remember that when she was in Kibera, Raila Odinga was in the western region in Kakamega, in Vihiga County, holding his demonstrations as usual. And she's saying that the historic drought and food insecurity, which has been exacerbated by the ripples effects of Russia's assaults to Ukraine. This is not the time for blame game, but I urge all Kenyan leaders to focus on solving the problems and the challenges that Kenyans are facing. So from this message, what I'm getting here is that Jill Biden, first of all, she's talking about the drought. The drought actually has been affecting not Kenya alone, but Africa at large. And that is one of the main reasons that she is actually here in Kenya. But she's saying that the historic drought and food insecurity, she is actually blaming the issues of food security on Russia's assault to Ukraine, which has affected the economy of various countries here in Kenya. And also, she's directing message to Raila Odinga that this is not the time for blame game. You know, Raila Odinga has been holding these demonstrations, blaming William Ruto for the high cost of living, for all the challenges that majority of Kenyans are facing, for the high economy and the rest. But she's advising Kenyan leaders, including Raila Odinga, that they should focus on solving these issues, how they can solve these issues. You cannot solve the problems, the challenges that Kenyans are facing by holding demonstrations across the country and pointing fingers at each other. That's not how it should be done. It should be done by coming up with strategies on how to eliminate these problems that are facing Kenyans. So that is the first analysis. The second one, let's talk about Jill Biden failure to meet with Raila Odinga at State House. Remember that, if you can still remember, since date 13th to 14th of December last year, Raila Odinga and William Ruto were invited by the US President Joe Biden for the US African Summit an event which was actually held at Washington, D.C. But when Jill Biden landed here in Kenya recently, one of her main missions here in Kenya is that she wanted to meet Raila Odinga, William Ruto, and other senior-most state officials so that they can discuss on a follow-up of the previous US African summit. But according to the information, according to the sources, is that Jill Biden already held that meeting, that event at State House, together with William Ruto and the State House or the senior-most state officials. And of course, Jill Biden did not invite Raila Odinga during that meeting. And in my considered opinion, the reasons as to why Jill Biden decided to ignore the invitation of Raila Odinga for that event is that it's because of maybe it could be because Raila Odinga's recently being fired from the US, from the African Union High Representative on Infrastructure and Development by the AU chairman Musa Faki. That was the main position that Raila Odinga could be seen as the main senior-most official, not here in Kenya alone, but in sub-Saharan Africa. He had that biggest position holding here in Africa. That is why the US President Joe Biden had invited him. But immediately Raila Odinga was fired from that position. Then he does not have any title apart from an opposition leader. Then, therefore, there's no way Jill Biden can invite an opposition leader to that meeting. And let's talk about Jill Biden fulfilling promises to both William Ruto and Rachel Ruto. Immediately, William Ruto and Rachel Ruto were invited by Joe Biden for the US African Summit. William Ruto and Rachel Ruto went to the White House where they met with Jill Biden together with Joe Biden, and they held several discussions there. First of all, Jill Biden promised to visit Kenya, which she has already done, and it's actually the third, I think it's her third visit here in Africa, entire Africa. Kenya is actually the third, or is it the second? I saw something like that. So she has already fulfilled that promise. Also, she had promised Rachel Ruto and William Ruto that she will strengthen the partnership between these two countries, Kenya and the US. That is why you have been seeing recently, immediately William Ruto took over as the President of the Republic of Kenya, the partnerships between US and Kenya has been so strong. They have started, the foundation is very, very well, because if you can still remember, during the previous Jubilee administration led by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, he mainly focused so much on China and he ignored the US at large. But you can see right now that one of the main missions of Jill Biden here in Kenya is that she wants to strengthen the partnership between Kenya and the US. Also, she had promised Rachel Ruto that she will support her in supporting women empowerment, a position which Rachel Ruto was appointed recently to take over as the women representative to empower women across the country, if you have been following up on her. And this is what she was actually doing. One of her main mission here in Kenya was to support Rachel Ruto for that position to empower women empowerment across the country. And also, let's look at Jill Biden's main missions here in Kenya during her 3-day state visit. Just as I had said it earlier, she wants to talk about the drought that has been affecting not Kenya alone, but Africa at large. Majority of people have been dying because of hunger, lack of water, lack of food, lack of rains, which has been affecting various parts of Africa. So this is what actually she's going, and she said that she's going to talk about, she's going to hold a meeting or to talk with the people who have been affected by the drought, just to listen to them, and so that she can know the way forward on how to solve these issues of drought and the help that America will offer to Kenya concerning the prolonged drought issues, which have actually been affecting the people and animals, across the country. And also, she wanted to talk about the food insecurity. And from her speech, she is actually blaming the Russian government assaulting the Ukraine government for the food insecurity. Russia has been majority of African countries have been, like Kenya here, recently we ordered wheat from Russia. It's actually well known for food production. So because of the prolonged fight between Russia and Ukraine, that's why you have been seeing the food insecurity across the African countries. So she's going also to talk about that. And also the main reason as to why she is in Kenya, she wants to strengthen the partnership between Kenya and the US. Just as I had said it earlier, that William Ruto, when he visited the White House together with Rachel Ruto, they met with Joe Biden and Jill Biden, and they discussed on the partnership, strengthen the partnership between these two countries. So that was my analysis for today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. Otherwise, I don't have much to add on. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, my name is Jason. Thank you.